Welcome everyone to a creepy horror story reading. Today we're going to be looking at 3 crazy horror stories. This could be potentially creepy. I haven't read any of these stories, but let's just go ahead and go into it. This one's called The Ghost Babysitter. When my niece was really young, she was in a bouncer at my sister's house. I was home and babysitting. I had left her to go to the kitchen to grab some water. My sister's chocolate labs were probably sniffing and licking her head because I could hear her giggling like she was having a blast. I hadn't noticed how cold it had gotten. Then I heard it, a loud wooden snap, like a thick piece of wood had been snapped in half suddenly or a tree was knocked over. I ran into the room, and what I saw and smelled freaked me out. The dogs were huddled in the corner whimpering. My niece was just staring at the ceiling corner with wide eyes, and it was cold and smelled like Stetson. I took her and we decided to go to a different room. When my sister finally came home, I told her what happened. She just rolled her eyes and said, "That is Hugh." I was confused. She said Hugh was the previous owner of the house who had died 10 years before his wife sold it. She said he likes to follow my niece around, and you can tell it is him because the dogs freak out, it gets cold, and smells like cheap cologne. I don't believe in that stuff, but I do believe that feeling you get in your gut when something doesn't feel right. So was that a good one? I thought it was okay. It was like, not really that creepy, but let's just go into the next one. This one's called Stranger in the House. In college, I would go home every other weekend to work at the job I had since high school. I would drive directly from campus after my last class on Friday to my job, about an hour, and after my shift was done, I would go back to my parents' house, which was out in the middle of nowhere. My parents weren't home yet when I got back from work. They often spend their Friday and Saturday evenings drinking like they were the ones in college. So the house was dark, and since it was mid-fall, so was the yard, save for the yard light. I pulled into my normal parking spot, got out of the car, and then turned to open the back door of my car and get my backpack out of the back seat. That's when I noticed the bathroom light was on. Was that light on when I pulled up? It must have been, right? As I was contemplating the light and reaching for my backpack, there was suddenly a very angry-looking old woman standing in the window staring at me. We stood there staring at each other for a good 10 seconds when the parents pulled into the driveway and distracted me from my stare down with the woman in the bathroom. By the time I turned back, the light was still on, but the woman was gone. That's not very good either. I'm gonna try to find a long one. Okay. I found a long one. This one's called The Phantom Hairdryer. I was in my sophomore year of high school. I would usually get ready and then wait for my mother to drive me to school. When she was getting ready, I was just kind of hanging out in the bathroom with her while she was putting on makeup and curling her hair. She looked a little frazzled, and I asked if everything was okay. She told me about a weird occurrence the night before. She told me that she had been woken up at around 2 by a strange noise. It wasn't super loud, but it was pretty constant. My dad wasn't woken up by it, though it's not surprising as he sleeps like a lot. Anyway, she starts looking for the source of the noise, first checking the bathroom attached to their room, but there isn't anything in there. Next, she walks out into the hall and hears a noise from the bathroom nearby. When she walks in, she sees a hairdryer plugged in and turned on, just sitting in the middle of the bath mat on the floor. She thinks it's strange, but there are 4 kids living in the house, and she thought maybe someone had sleepwalked and turned it on. Whatever, she unplugs it and puts it away. She goes back to bed and eventually falls asleep. About an hour later, she wakes up again and hears the same noise. She's kind of ticked off and goes to check it out again, except now the noise is from downstairs. She tracks it down into the guest bathroom in the main entry hall. My parents' house has like 4 bathrooms. She opens the door, and again, there's a hairdryer turned on, laying in the middle of the floor. She's freaked out by this point, but she unplugs it and puts it away. She didn't get a great night's sleep after that. So she's telling me the story, and as soon as she comes to a conclusion, we both just freeze and turn our head into the walk-in closet of her bathroom. As soon as we look in there, the entire light on the ceiling shatters. Not the light bulb, but the glass cover. It shatters, sending shards of glass everywhere. Well, we both freak out and get the heck out. We didn't know what to make of it, but we haven't really had any experiences before or since, and none of my family has experienced anything either. So, that's it for the video. I know it was kind of a spooky one. Actually, it wasn't really spooky, but I just wanted to get something out for Friday the 13th. But yeah, I'm going to turn the light up really quick. And thank you guys for watching this video. And remember to close your closet door tonight.